Hello everybody, it's William Drumming. Welcome to my channel. So let's continue our series of learning drawing different material on Procreate. So previously we practiced about let me show you practice to draw a sphere, and it's a solid sphere, and then we're going to draw this to a transparent sphere, and we talk about a little bit about the light can shoot through it. We talk about the reflection, all this amazing stuff. So it's a pretty fun. But in this video, we are going to have a little bit challenge, because that's basically how I deal things, how I learn new things. So basically, first when we start learn something, we are going to use extreme example. Okay, so for example, the completely solid and completely, it's not 100% transparent. It's like a 95 and 98% of transparent. So it's like a extreme, but you can't possibly draw a completely transparent thing. You can't do that. So it kind of just go to a extreme of a transparent sphere and a completely solid sphere. Okay, so once you master technique of two extreme example, you can, work the middle, what is in between, because normally you wouldn't, just face with the example of just one solid or completely transparent, but normally you would just dealing with what is in between. So for example, a glass, like a jewelry that some your character wear, or you want have some some sci-fi stuff, you want to draw an energy crystal, something like that. You're going to dealing with a semi-transparent material, and let's work based on our transparent sphere, and let's think what kind of thing that we need to change in order to make it semi-transparent, and maybe add some interesting color to it. Okay, so it'll be fun. So if you look at what's inside, we got this solid sphere, right? And we got this shadow. We can hide this shadow. Let me just get rid of this sphere. Okay, and okay. So in this sphere, we got this solid one, and we got this shadow. Let's just unlock this. Do not need to alpha lock. Just want to show you. Okay, we got this shadow. We got this original sphere. We got this shadow. Okay, if let's think about this. If it is semi-transparent and have some kind of color to it, the shadow will change. Okay, so the shadow become composed of a completely black shadow, and we add some of the light getting shoot through, but things is like a color sphere. So the light that go through will have some sort of a tint. Okay, we may say, for example, you got some blue jewelry, you got blue tints, purple, I got purple tint, something like that. Okay, so this will change. Okay, this one will change. Let's just go through this and think about this. Okay, so I think like one of the most important skill of artist is to actually look at things around you. That's the thing that I learned recently, because I think I have always lived a life without actually worry about what's going on around me, and that is a really disadvantage for artists, because you know only kids. Here's an interesting point of view. Only kids actually observe. Adults just take it for granted, and that kind of granted will have a huge drawback when you actually start to draw, because you begin to realize, hey, I did not realize how light shine through this, how it reflects things, how color actually works, and you are missing a lot in your life if you do not actually observe things. Okay, so that's the reason why I start live a like start live life intentionally, and start to observe things around me. Okay, let's just go back. So the shadow part, and let's go back to the layer. Okay, let's get rid of this and look at here. So basically, I transfer from the completely solid one to this, That's because it's a transparent, so I can see through this sphere and see what's back, and we got this back color, just to paint whatever the color is inside. But if it's a colored one, this one should have a tint as well, and it should have a some sort of like a layered structure, because if it's a semi-transparent, it gotta be something material inside in order to make it a semi-transparent. So you got like a lot of say stone, mineral, all that inside that can affect the transparency of the sphere. So you have to use a lot of texture. You have to like manually, or you have to draw that using some texture brush in order to achieve that. We will talk about that, but you have to keep in mind. So it's not just you can't just let me just show you. You can't just let me just unlock this and say, hey, I want a bluish texture, so I just use a airbrush, soft brush, um, really tilted and have a bigger, since I already alpha lock it. Okay, I just paint this, and it just automatically become a green sphere. Yeah, it kind of does the job, but it's not good enough. Okay, so let me just make it. It kind of does the job of make a blue, sort of blue marble. Okay, but it's not really interesting. That's the process that we're going to go through and actually add that today. So yeah, let's go back and get this original one. And let's think about this. So the light shine through shine yeah, the light come from this, so they will have a reflection. And since this is a not so transparent, semi-transparent, this highlight will change, because if you think about this, if you look at mirror, the mirror got the light shone this way, and it sort of like reflect the light completely. So for example, the light source is like this big. You should have a fairly big reflection that look like a mirror, that you can have more reflection out here. So I might treat this as a, for example, this is like a highlight. I might use a bigger reflection. So I will pick this color. I may use a medium blend, something like that, to get a bigger reflection, something like that. And since it's got like a tilted, I might just make it bigger. Okay, and since it's like for example, it's like a bluish tilted, I will add let me add another layer and add a blue and much darker, decrease the opacity, increase this, maybe add a sort of like a bluish tilt to it, maybe decrease the opacity a little bit, like this. Okay, I might do something like this, but since I'm using like a medium brush, I should have used this soft brush. Okay, let's do this blue, okay, and have a bluish, something like that. Okay, maybe lighter. I think maybe lighter, brighter. Okay, something like that. So it's like, for example, a light is here, and the light have like a hue around it. Um, I will reflect this way. And by the way, normally I would just draw a ground reflection here, but if it's really transparent, I can do something like this. Let me show you. For example, the light uh, will shine, like shine the wall, and the wall will also have a reflection. So I might do something like this. Okay, so I might say, hey, there should be a wall, approximately. Let me just paint below here. Let me give a wall that's sort of like the material. Okay, let me just assume that we'll have the material like this, and I will paint the material, maybe a little bit, maybe bright. think it's covered, so I'm going to make it increase opacity. So for example, the wall is something like this. I will also draw the wall's reflection as well. Okay, and decrease just to give a hint because it's not so like perfectly reflect. So I've just to give you hints. So highlight and the walls reflection. So it's a lot of thing going on here. And by the way, if you want like make it more realistic, you may need to add a because in the center, okay, in the center of this of everything, you may not get a lot of light shine through the center, so you may get a darker like a core inside. Okay, so you got darker core. You can even got like a hard brush, just got the edges going on. Okay, let me just make it bigger. Got some dark edges, and then you can add a lot of layered stuff to it. So for example, you want to have some of the interesting color. You can add some color here, maybe brighter, something like that. Okay, and maybe greenish, reddish color, maybe, yeah, purplish color, maybe bright purple. Yeah, you can do all sort of experiments, and you can use a texture to it. So texture, grid roll, I think is great stuff. I use this as my previous to add a like a texture to it. Yeah, let's use a maybe abstract charcoal, something like that. Yeah, I use charcoal. Yeah, charcoal maybe too much elements. Yeah, you can use cloud. Let me try cloud for once. Okay, you can have some sort of cloud. Yeah, and maybe bluish. Add a darker blue, something like that, to cover what's inside and make it smaller. Okay, something like that. Yeah, you can add tons of things, and it will still look pretty good. So for example, let me add the highlight. I think the highlight should increase a little bit of opacity. So yeah, basically you can draw a lot of thing inside. You can even have some sort of a crack inside. You can do that as well. So for example, like water sort of thing, you can do that. Let me use a really bright blue, maybe brighter. Okay, you can just be more creative. So for example, I got this. Oh, this is like a layer. Maybe here. Okay, so I can add something like this. Okay, just add a tiny little bit. Okay, and make it bigger. Make it bigger here. Okay, and here, and here. Yeah, so you got like a water reflection, and I can use this, make it brighter, and make it waterish reflection like this. So you just add a sort of a magic to it, and I can add a like maybe dark color like this, and maybe add lighter like this, because everything that is a kind of a reflects the light inside, and you can consider that while you are adding things. Okay, so it's just to look much nicer, and I think I'm going to make it more curved. Okay, I'm going to like erase soap brush. Yeah, that's good. I'm going to erase some parts just to make it more like like the like the environment. Okay, so like a reflection here. Yeah, I love this, and yeah, that's pretty interesting. And by the way, the reflection here means that even though we got a reflection, there is still some part of light that shoot through this, so you can have a another layer that maybe I think it's pretty highlight. You can pick the color, make it fairly bright, choose the brush, maybe ink. Let me just use studio pen, or you use airbrush. Let me just use a studio pen because I want to experiment and try things. You will go through here and go to the other side. Okay, so I will add a tiny little reflection here. Okay, and maybe not too much, just to make it dampen it down a little bit. Okay, so you got a interesting lighting effect like this. I love this. So just to add more interesting detail and make it more realistic to the whole marble. And yeah, by the way, don't forget here, because it's got like a bluish color to it. So here you should also change the color. So let me just go back to the shadow part, right? The shadow part need to be changed. Okay, I just found some of the weird stuff here. Why got a line here? Okay, can I erase this part? I don't know why got this line. Okay, let me think about this. Is that because of the ground? Oh my gosh. Okay, where is it? Oh my gosh, maybe here. Okay. Why is they here? Okay, it doesn't really matter that much because I think I can, yeah, I'm going to hack this by just paint over this. Okay, I don't want to fix this because I'm recording a tutorial. Oh my gosh. So let's go back to the shadow part. Okay, the shadow part, the dark one. Oh my god, I can't just paint over this. So yeah, let me pause this and fix this. Okay, I searched the internet and find a cool way of doing that. In fact, I think it's really useful tool, so I have to like record this. So in order to find it here, I need to actually, you know, if I don't know which layer is on, I can just click this button and hold it and use my pen to pinpoint it, and then just search for this layer. And it turns out it's a layer here. So if you go here, already select this layer. So it's a layer here, so I can safely erase it. Yeah, sorry about that. Let me just make it fully transparent. Okay, so yeah. So yeah, so the last step, I'm going to change the tilt here. Right now, it's completely transparent. Definitely not the case. Let's go to the shadowy parts, and yeah, hopefully I can just use this as a like clipping mask, and maybe this tilt clipping mask will have here, because I want to tilt a little bit, and since the lights come from this way and it's sort of like screwed it down a little bit, so the color should have a like upper color. So what I'm gonna do is to choose a airbrush and soft brush, make it a maybe some interesting color like this. Okay, I'm going to use a pretty dark one because it's already got a light source down below. So I add that as a clipping mask. I'm going to use a pretty opacity, and here, and just add a little bit tilt. Okay, something like that, and maybe make it a little bit blue, make it brighter. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, something like that. And I'm going to make it not so I can keep, remember I add a little bit texture here, so I can keep this texture, and I can like make this difference, maybe color dodge, something like that. Yeah, I think color dodge is pretty interesting. In fact, overlay with the light. Yeah, you can play around with this. I think color dodge do give me a very interesting effect, and I can increase the opacity so it's much brighter. Decreases will just dampen it down a little bit. Okay, I think yeah, this kind of color dodge do have a interesting effect, so I will stick with this. And of course, you want to adjust the whole area. You can just make it like upper a little bit, something like that. But right now, I think I just keep where it is. So you get a semi-transparent marble, got a reflection, you got a lot of interesting going on inside, and it's just pretty interesting. So if you look and compare, what do we draw? Okay, so transparent is not transparent. This is transparent, completely transparent. Okay, and then let's compare this with what do we just draw. So if you compare these two, so the shadow is different. What's inside is different because what's inside, the core should be darker, and this part should be lighter. And since this is the semi-transparent, you should have a reflection, and you got this bigger, like reflective lights of the light source, and we can get a lot of interesting going on here, like a little bit crack, a little bit of material inside. You can add a like just to turn this wheel a little bit. Okay, so the wheel is here. I want to turn this a little bit, or you can, yeah, have more creative. You can turn left a little bit or right a little bit. Just add more variation to here. So here I think it's much nicer. So for example, I can add another layer just to make it even more interesting. Okay, so let me add a layer here, or maybe just serve as a clipping mask. So dot here, clipping mask. Okay, and you can have a maybe just a sort of like hard brush. Yeah, let's try the hard brush, but decrease that a little bit. Just you know, okay, just make it not so abrupt. Okay, and yeah, let me make it outside. Yeah, sorry, you can't use it as a clipping mask because was this layer 3 got nothing inside, so you can't clip to it. So you automatically I can make it disappear. So yeah, you can add something like this. Okay, let's just add another layer, give it a little bit small. Okay, something like this, and because it's like a brighter, you can have some sort of a thing going on inside here, and maybe add a little bit smaller one, like here, something like that. You can have a lot of thing going on. Okay, so I'm going to just add a lot of like dark material inside, and then you can just decrease the whole thing, so you got like more interesting customized thing going inside. It's a really similar like the water reflection. Okay, and of course you can even add my favorite Gaussian blur to it, so it will not be so like so thin. It'll be much more natural reflection. Yeah, it just really depends on you whether you want it to look at a certain way, and you can even hide information inside. So we will talk about that later. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And by the way, they highlight the reflection light here. You can make it like not so. You can make it a texture light and make it like have a like not so rough edge. So you get a feeling that this is like a perfect reflection, not some vague reflection, something like that. Yeah, you can do all sort of thing. But right now, let's just go with the like the reflection here. It still feels pretty good. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much it. So basically, the light, the shadow, the reflection relationship is kind of like the transparent thing, but you need to add a tilted, add a reflection, and add some material inside. Okay, so yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Thanks. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Okay, thanks. Bye.